Okay, time for some new information to be shown. Yeah, I'm just gonna lead the entire conversation as a whole. Me and Owen, this was after the whole drama about the merch started, and he wanted to supposedly talk about this whole situation peacefully, which they did not end up turning out like that, and it just started a whole new freaking battle. But yeah, I'm done. I unblocked him because I unblocked Owen at on mess off. I unblocked him from Messenger for a bit at first. So yeah, and he said he wanted to talk about it peacefully, and I will show that eventually. So yeah, okay. First, he starts off by saying, "I won't insult you," and I just want to talk about all this with you. You tell me where to start, and here's where I here's where this came in. The part where you weren't telling your friends who was actually making the roast, because what they kept saying was, Owen and probably his friends kept saying was that Owen was supposedly telling his friends that it was me making the roast, when in reality it wasn't. I mean, in the freaking response video, Jaden verified that it was him making the roast, and apparently Owen says that he did tell them what was happening, and he said he was sorry if it came off as him not doing that, and Isaiah says my roast and says Jaden's roast are some of the most childish things ever. But here's what Owen has to say. It was actually his friend. I'm just gonna call him Silent Night because, again, they'll complain about me dotsing their names. So yeah, I'm just trying to explicitly talk about this. He says that David was the one supplying the roasts in the whole thing, and I kept telling Owen that it was Jane making the roast, and I was not asking him for help. He was the one who wanted to do it himself. And then Owen just decided to say that Owen didn't think his roasts were that good, so he upped the bar by begging on his knees for Silent Night to, well, I don't know if he was at the begging, but probably just asked Silent to come up with, I don't know, like roasts to come back at. And he says, then he said, "Can I add?" I'm just gonna call him Estia to a chat. So we just supposedly talked about it peacefully, and he said he won't insult me either, and he'll make sure of that when. Okay, I did kind of ignore the group that Owen invited me back into, but I will just tell you that Owen ended up making fun of me for supposedly having fish teeth, which, let me tell you, I do brush my teeth. It's just that my teeth, I do have a tooth out of a start, so that's why my tooth looks like that. And he says, and here's where I straight up tell him about that I apologize for flipping him off. And it's just when I told him that when people act like a smart aleck to my face, I get really mad and start doing stuff that fire back at them. You see, and then he says K. And then I reply with, also, I guess, sure, like about adding Estia to a chat. And then he says he can't right now, and that he isn't friends with him on Messenger. Which, if that's the case, why didn't you tell me that the first time? And then he says, "No, this is where where I say that I'm not going to apologize for crap." And he explicitly says that he's not apologizing, he's just deciding to talk it out peacefully. And he also says, I also have one request. Please don't dox my friends' names. They don't like that. You can say my name, just don't say theirs without permission. I thought they just don't like using it in general. That's what I swear Owen said to me, but I guess I must have misperceived it. There, I'm taking to know myself, but Owen, I said, oh, okay, but there is one thing I would like to say. When someone is asking you what that something that you are doing and they are genuinely angry about it, please answer it respectfully. And Owen said, because I can, which made him come off as a real smart aleck. So, yeah. And what I'm saying, and what he is saying is, just don't let Jaden keep all that stuff going. And it says, this situation wouldn't have happened if Jaden never insulted me. Well, you see, if you didn't explicitly act like a smart aleck to me and Jaden, maybe that stuff wouldn't have happened. Just saying. But here's what I'm saying is, well, at first he didn't insult you. He just thought you bat Isaiah's Estia merch there. I'll just say it there. And he says, I do because Estia bats it too. But you see, the conversation back then said that about Isaiah. He says that Estia should sue Bergante for harassment. And I used that conversation in the response video, but I'm guessing they must have skimmed over it. So, yeah. And at first he straight up says he did not back it. So, Owen, what are you actually doing? Because, like, if you want to irritate me, I can reveal those conversations again. So, if you really want to try me, then you'll get the horns. But what he's saying is he doesn't promote it anymore. None of us really do, but it is still going. Which you straight up said in the first when I revealed that first conversation, you explicitly said that you promote it. Well, you did. Well, again, you did say you don't promote it anymore. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm just saying that it's not a good idea to promote that stuff. But here's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't back it because I just don't think it is necessarily that funny. That's the main reason why I actually don't really like the merch anymore. So, yeah, and, like, what I was explicitly, like, here's the main thing that I said. And if someone took, like, the whole merch thing out of context, the person would probably say, you know what, he's probably not doing this without his permission. I'm just sue him. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, let's say someone takes the merch out of context and thinks that they're doing it without permission, and then I said, and it can get you guys in trouble financially. And then he's saying, Estia is trying to peacefully work this out too, but we are not stopping this drama. I'll just go easier and act more peacefully to you. I can't believe what I'm freaking seeing. He is saying that he's trying to peacefully work it out too, and he's saying he's not going to stop the freaking drama. The text you send later disprove that, and let's go slowly, and you'll see what he says. And then he says he's trying to act more peacefully to you. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. And he says, like he is, it can't get us in trouble. Maybe we can even talk as a group tomorrow during field day if we do go outside. And here's what it was at a school. They had the central field day, and I didn't go to school because it's like the last day, and I really don't want to be there because I figured they'd be trying to clown me and take a bunch of pictures of me. And here's what I'm saying. Now I just backed out of the drama entirely. Like, I really want to back out of the drama, and I said there's nothing really to gain out of it anyway. And then some mistake happened right there, and then I just said I'm not going to school tomorrow. And then he said, "Oh, okay, maybe we can all talk on a group chat in a few days." And then I said, "Okay then, but there's one thing Jaden wants to test you. It's not mean." And then he said, "Okay." Then Jaden says, "We need to just drop it. We're leading to a dead end that moves the more we climb the bullshit path. The more we get lost. If you all don't want to cut it, then you'll be lost soon." Because, you see, Owen explicitly said that they're not ending the drama. They're just going to loosen it, which is not... the whole thing should just end entirely. And that's what I'm doing. And I said, I'm not getting on a group chat with... I'll just tell you... It's Isaiah and Silent Night, because like the first one that we did, it just turned into a Malachi Clownin server, and I don't want the thing to turn into that again. So I wasn't gonna get on to that chat because there I mentioned Isaiah's on it, and me and him hate each other. I really hate him. He explicitly admitted one time that he has a massive ego. And he's just a dick to random people. So, yeah, and here's what Owen says. He says, with Silent Night, it would be, he just wants to talk to me, Estia, and I'm just gonna say Nut Butter. And he said we may make a video. We won't really throw in any insults your way. Really won't throw insults my way. Well, here, let's just. Well, here's what I'm gonna look for. Okay. Okay. Okay, it doesn't say it exactly yet, but here, I'll show it eventually. Now it's time to go where we will start. And then he says, we won't really throw any insults your way. We just want to take your take on all of this in the video. He said he'd even shout me out, and then he says, it will likely be the end of this. Just wait till later. Then the like comment, and then he says, I'll have Nut Butter promise to me. And then he says, SDL won't throw many insults your way. Well, again, let's skim over it. Let's look over the near the end of the conversation. And he says, just please don't add Isaiah to the group. It would especially be a Clown and Malachi session with him too. And he says, okay, don't share any more screenshots, which I wasn't even freaking doing. If you don't make another video on this, then the video I am making will be the closure to all of this. And he's saying, I'm not making another video on the drama. If I say it ends, I keep my word. I'm not Keemstar. And then Owen says, I may even be able to give you advice on how to make better videos rather than just roasting you relentlessly. We'll make this video Saturday. And Saturday was a couple days ago, and he still hasn't made the video, but he said that the video will happen at some point. So, yeah. And then I said, also, if you don't want me to share screenshots, which, again, let me say, I wasn't. I'm just telling him. I don't want you to either. If you're telling me not to share any of that stuff, you shouldn't either. Then the hypocrisy levels wouldn't be there. Yeah, because if he's telling me not to share personal stuff or, like, screenshots or something, then he shouldn't either. Because if that would be the case, then that'd just be a whole lot of hypocrisy. So, yeah, he says, okay, I won't share any. I am glad we're talking again. Yeah, that'll come right back to bite you in the ass soon. And then he says, we should hang out again sometime, which that's never happening. Just never. I don't want to be in the same room as him, but fortunately we may have to do that. But he's saying, also, I'm not being mean, but can you please not self-proclaim your victories? When I heard you say that in your video, me and Jaden were very pissed, because we were. Because, like I said in the parts of the whole video, well, the previous ones, we got angry that Owen was self-proclaiming his victories. And if you truly wanted to win something, the other person would, say, okay, I lose, you take the W. Or, like, the other person tells you that they won, like, the opposing side. Then that would be. And then he says, I honestly may think I won. And then he says, but I won't brag anymore, I promise. And then I said, you're still doing it. Also, neither of us won that. And then Owen says, sorry, I will speak of it no more. Don't tell anyone about this conversation, even though he goes literally to probably everyone and shows it to them. But he's saying, Silent Knight's also calling him a pussy for backing down. He's the only one who knows, but I'm not talking with him right now. Well, eventually you add Silent Night to a conversation, and it turns into a Malachi clowning call. So, yeah. I don't think you stay to your word that much, Owen. And he says, if anyone else makes videos, just know that it's out of my control. I don't know if they are, but if they do, they do. Well, might as well eventually insert Owen's response videos into here. So, yeah. And then he says, okay, and the only people I will tell are my dad and my aunt, and possibly Jaden, but I'll tell him to try and not get angry. That's what it was at first. And he says, okay, and then he says, I got a PSP a few days ago. And I said, also, David's a jerk. Oh, crap, I'll edit that part out, but what I want to say is, Silent Knight's a jerk, and is it really that bad that you're trying to talk to be peacefully about the situation? I don't see him looking at it thoughtfully. So, yeah. And then he says, yeah, I may not apologize for the insults right now, but I promise no more insult again. This is where he contradicts himself. Here, I'll straight up go to the top of here. Okay. Okay, here up. He says we won't really throw any insults my way. And he says no more insults will be thrown away a few seconds later. Owen, stop freaking lying. You explicitly stated before that you're not really gonna throw any insults my way, and when you say we won't really throw any insults your way, that still means you're gonna throw insults, just not as much as the Clown and Malachi server. But here, let's go down here. And he says he won't apologize for the insults right now, but he promises no more insults again. Well, yeah, the text before really goes against that. And also, he's explicitly states that he's not going to apologize for his insults. But you see, I actually apologize for the stuff I did. So, yeah, I feel like he should probably do the same thing. Just saying. And here, I'll just go down. And he says he doesn't want to end up doing the very thing I apologize for in the future. Yeah, you don't really say to your word that much. And then he says, so I will when I know I won't ever again. And he says, and then I say, okay, also the only real thing that did come from me on the chat is calling Silent Night a hypocrite and a liar, because he is. And you know what, I might as well eventually show the conversations again, just as maybe clarification. Then I say my dad doesn't trust you guys, and then he says, I'll make sure that I don't roast you and that they don't roast you. And then he says, Isaiah and Silent Night, though, I can't guarantee that. And then I said, also about the suing thing, it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me who was going to do that. It was my dad. Also, my dad has a thought that you're trying to play me into this. And he says, no, I'm not. I just want to talk about this peacefully. And then I say, my dad says that if you genuinely talked about this peacefully, we do it in person, no recording anything. And I eventually straight up told him the same thing. But here's what he has to say in a 50-second recorded video message. Here's the message.
I want to deceive you into this. I mean, if your dad doesn't want to trust us, he doesn't have to, but we're not going to. Me, Xavier, and Brajante won't deceive you into this. We're just asking if you want to do like a little part of it where we have you on, sort of like an interview, like where you'll chat with us, but we're going to talk peacefully. We're just talking about the situation. We're just going to ask for your take on this. And thanks for unblocking me and everything. I'm glad you are. Because I just wanted to kind of close out the situation by making one video on it. And it's not about roasting you. It's just about clearing everything up between both of us and making this video.
Okay, if that's truly the case, if you're going to say you want to end it personally, why would we need to get on a freaking group chat so you could end it and then I give you the take on the conversation? And also, at my school, Nut Butter did show me the script, and most of it was just making fun of me, so, yeah, not so peaceful. But, yeah, here. Can you just chat at least? I'll even show you early. We want your take on this in the video. Well, I showed my take in my response video, but you see, Estia told me to take down the video, so what do you mean that I didn't give my take on the whole situation? Because I did. It's just that the video would have been reported otherwise, so it couldn't really be shown either way. And he says, no insults from us, like where we add you and ask you about all of this and listen to you. But here's the one thing I say. If you really want to close this, just do it yourself. No need for Nut Butter and Estia. If you genuinely want to do it, we should just do it 1v1, which is what I kept saying. But here, he is supposed to say we make closure with all this with this final video I'm doing to make it public. We have resolved all this stuff. And he says, "Kate, can I include our conversation in the video? Just us two, no DMs, just talking peacefully." And then here's what I say: who cares about the freaking public? This is personal stuff, and it's not like everyone will stop. They'll probably just think we'll go into another rivalry 3 seconds later, which it kind of did. And then he says, "Okay, I'll talk about this in a video. I just will talk to you privately. Nothing of us two will be in the video." Yeah, right. Just me saying that I agree on ending this drama. I meant I won't talk about this in the video. And then here's what he sends me.
Like, I'll still make the video. Just, you don't have to be in it at all. I'm just going to say what happened and then just say this is the end of all of this.
Well, he says nothing of the both of us will be in the video yet. He's just gonna talk. He eventually asked if he could just show the conversations, and I said, "Dad is asking why does it have to be in the video?" And that's what I said too. And he says, "I just want to talk about how I'm ending this, and I swear not to make any more rivalries with you." Well, just wait until later. And then it says, can Nut Butter talk with us? No insults, just want to talk. It's not for the video. And then I say, my dad says if you made fun of me, he will be furious. And like I said, if you want to actually end it, come to me personally, which I keep telling him. But he's just saying, "Oh, get on a group chat with us. We want to talk about the situation." But I'm telling you, I don't want to do that. Then he says, "I'll end it personally with you. We just want to chat." Well, I don't want to chat, but you may want to chat, but I don't want to chat. And he says he promised, and it's not about ending this, it's just we want to chat. Well, your whole conversation, well, what you said before disproves you. And he says, "But I just want this to end between me and you. I don't want to chat with the others, just Malachi Branch and Owen Branch." We are cousins, by the way. And then Nut Butter has a question for you. I don't want to know what it is, but he wants to ask you. And then it says, Nut Butter's not going to say anything, but once he says what he wants to say in that, you're free to leave. But yeah, he invited me back into the server where it became a Clown Malachi server, and I immediately left once I figured out it was. And then here's what this says. "I'm not joining that group. I know that the two specific people I told you I don't want to talk to or be in the same group with are in it." And then he says, "Now, Owen," here's what I say. "Now, Owen, there's one thing I want to say directly to you. When I was walking down the street to my aunt's house at the old bus stop, and you took a picture of me without permission, delete it. Get a camera and record you doing it. If you want me to be peaceful with you, delete that photo." And he says, "I don't have it anymore. I did delete it." And then I said, "Show me physical proof." And then he says, "Okay, before." And he says he deleted it before, but you see that white circle right there? That's just simply me walking down the street, and I've had a feeling they'd probably clown me or try to clown me. So that's why I told him to explicitly delete the video, the picture. But yeah, and he did delete it as shown in this picture here. But here's what I said: delete it from your trash bin too, so I know that you can't get it back too. I'm just saying, if you truly want me to cooperate and not be pissed, permanently delete it. And I still believe he has a trash bin on his storage. And then he says there is no trash bin, trust me. And then there's that, and no trash bin, and he'll delete that other photo of you. And then I said, "What other photo?" And then he said, "Never mind." Then I said, "Are you talking about the one Isaiah took of me? Also, you're not showing me all of your gallery. I just see the top of the ones below." And then he says, "Okay, I'll show you." Then there's this, and then he says that's all, even the ones below it. But I still want to see if he has the trash bin or not. And then I say, "Okay, but I just have one question. Do you actually want to end this?" Because I'm saying, if you want to don't add your friends into it. And just do it face to face in person. Also, I saw you downloaded my response video, and then I said, "I know." And then it says, my aunt says it should just be on a chat with me, you, my dad, and your dad in person. No online business. Like, I just said to do a 1v1, but apparently it should be a 4-way chat. And I said, also, I'm not trying to bring her into this. She's just offering advice. And this is where the new drama spawns. we aren't going to end it tonight because you still have something to own up to. And I said, let me just taking an L because you blocked me on YouTube. And then he says, you have fault in this too. Don't think you're all innocent. We all had somewhat of a part in this. Nobody's a victim anyway. And this is where I get genuinely angry. I say, I literally just said neither of us won the argument. I even apologized for flipping you off. But that's because of everything before that. I know I'm not innocent. Plus, I blocked you on YouTube because of the stuff you commented on my top 10 SpongeBob episodes video. And they said, it's not about any of that. And then I say, then what is it? And then he says, I said the N-word even though on the chat, Jaden explicitly says that he's the one who said the N-word. And then he said he dragged Estia into this. Can you see what he's physically saying there? He's telling me I need to apologize for something Jaden did. No, I don't have to do it. If it's something someone else did, I don't have to do it. Why should I apologize for something that another person did when I didn't do it myself? Then he says, you prolonged this for a month, basically, when we basically ended it, so apologize. And then he says, you have to apologize to all of us to officially end it. But here's the thing that I have to say. If you had such a problem about this, why didn't you bring it up before? And also, the whole thing was about freaking Isaiah. And, again, I did not say the N-word. It was Jaden. And he'll say it no matter what. He doesn't care if it is supposedly racist. And also, that was specific. That N-word was also used for Indians and Scottish people too, so not just black people. Then I said, it's not me who texted that, it was Jaden. And then I said, here, I'll prove it. And then he says, join our call, we want to talk. And he's essentially trying to make me do it. And then here's where Jaden comes with the play. And then he says, Jaden here, I said it, and considering that you won't apologize, and also that I'm a basic walking rock, I won't apologize. There's no point. The closest I will apologize is in person. And then Owen kept spamming me with calls. And then Jaden responded with, stop with the calls. Rots like me can't answer. And then he said, no, you must apologize for everything you said to all of us, even though I did not say anything to them. I literally just flipped Owen off, apologized for that, and said that I just find Silent Night to be a hypocrite and a liar. That's really all I said. And then he says, come to school to apologize to all of us. Oh, okay then. If you want me to apologize, why does it specifically have to be at school? I mean, on that group chat that you kept trying to spam me, why couldn't it be there? Why does it have to specifically be at school of all places? I mean, does it add any significance? No. Does it add any relevance? No. Can you not just... Is it really that bad to add other people into the chat that you want me to apologize to, even though I didn't do it? No, it's really not that bad. Why does it just have to be one specific freaking place? And he says, that's how we end it. And then he says, me and Xavier just want to end all of this. Oh, is that the case then? And why did you say you're not ending the drama? You're just trying to talk it out peacefully. Contradictions. And then he says, and then I say, well, that's not actually me, that's Owen. I mean, that's Jaden talked about it, saying, Intendious English? I don't know what that says. I don't speak that language. I will go with Malachi and apologize in person. And then he says no. And then I say, then Jaden says, no apology from Jaden then. And he says, I want you, Malachi, to go to school. Go to Xavier, Estia, and Silent Night, and Malachi outside, and say, I'm sorry for what I've done. I want to end this. Will you accept my apology? That's all you need to do. I don't want to hear anything from Jaden. Just you, Malachi, even though I supposedly kept telling them I didn't do any of that stuff, and that it's literally Jaden doing most of... Literally Jaden throwing every roast at their side and using the N-word. Then I say, I'm not the one who even needs to apologize. Jaden is, and he agrees with me. Jaden said all the roasts, and he said that then the N-word and all the innards. And if you want to end it, then why did you say you weren't going to end it? You were just going to listen to shit stream. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Jaden there. Why why, if you're going to say you want to end it, then why did you say before that you don't want to end it? Just loosen the string. And he said, I thought we could end it, and I realized that you need to apologize for that, your part to all of us. Don't bring Jaden into this. He has almost nothing to do with this. Seeing you don't know how to end basic drama. Yeah, I can, but you see, the opposing side doesn't really want to end it. That's why it hasn't ended yet. And then I say, hold on, I can't type a basic reply without a call disrupting. That's what Jaden says. And then it says, hey, Jaden here, you alive? I want to talk about the interview. I mean, then yeah, that's literally all of the chat. So, yeah. Good. See you guys later, and take care.